Bad experience when I was doing the audition for a particular drama school. So deflated, first of all feeling like a massive outsider. I just felt like I just did not belong. Kind of remember thinking to myself, if this is what the industry is like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Let's take a look at the travel for you on the tube, all clear across all lines. Let's take a look at the weather. Here's Kate Kinsella.
Hello there. Well, it's a reasonably mild start. There's a calmer day for Sunday, but don't forget, the clocks go back.
That's it from me. I'm back in half an hour. Bye-bye for now.
Hello, you're watching Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetti.
Time now is 8:30. Every day this week, the Rip Off Britain team has been taking on your problems in a special week of live programmes.
Let's find out what's coming up today. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Charlie and Naga. And yes, here we are in the studio, just getting ready for the last in our special week of live programmes.
And upside down by scammers cloning their legitimate websites.
Exactly what had happened, and believe me, you will not want to miss that one. Or for that matter, the soon-to-be newlyweds who've had their wedding day ruined twice over this year.
Experts are standing by ready to answer your questions. Now today we've got fraud lawyer Aaron Chohan. Very simple, you just email us at ripoffbritain@bbc.co.uk and we'll see you here with more great results at 9:15.
Thanks very much all. Good luck with the programme. See you later.
Time now is 8:32. The England footballer Marcus Rashford, who has campaigned for free school meals, has visited a new food bank warehouse named after his mother.
It's been set up by the charity FareShare, which says it's distributing double the amount of food than before the pandemic. In response, it's taken on a new depot in Manchester, which has been named Melanie Maynard House.
The visit came a day after the government voted against extending free school meals to disadvantaged children in England during the holidays. Marcus Rashford told Breakfast he was disappointed by the reaction from some MPs.
People have opinions. Whether or not they understand fully what the families are going through is another conversation. But because of that, it's easy for me to sort of dismiss a lot of the people that are making them opinions because, you know, I know for sure that a lot of them speaking the way that they're speaking. It's so insensitive about the issue. And they've definitely not been through it themselves. So for me, it's, you know, I'll take that all day long as we start to see improvements going forward for the people that are in need of it now, is what's important to me. So I don't mind the criticism.
Well, one of the MPs that voted against the free school meals programme has since been in a Twitter row with the footballer.
Well, Conservative MP Ben Bradley tweeted Marcus Rashford, saying that funding needed to be targeted at those most in need and invited him to discuss the crisis with the head teacher at one of the country's most deprived schools.
In the last hour on Breakfast, Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Stephen Barclay, said the government has supported disadvantaged children through the pandemic.
We've put measures into schools specifically to support disadvantaged children because it is absolutely core as an issue. The issue is what is the best way of getting support to families.
So we're joined now by Kevin Courtney from the National Education Union. Very good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. We were speaking to Stephen Barclay a little earlier on. We know how the vote went and he was adamant a decision had been made. We asked him if that might change and he appeared to rule that out entirely. Where do you think this leaves the issue right now?
Look, can I just start by saying I think this whole country owes a debt of gratitude to Marcus Rashford, a man who's now got some privilege in his life, but he's talking about his lived experience and he's opening up a debate that really matters. Because the members of my union, teachers and support staff, have been telling the union that holiday hunger, children coming back to school after the holiday, hungry, unable to concentrate, unable to get on with their work, has been increasing. It's been a phenomenon that's grown since 2010 and the austerity, and it's much worse now.
And then he said that, can I invite you, Marcus Rashford, to one of the country's most deprived schools to come and discuss with the head teacher, who agrees with him. There is a difference of opinion about what is the best way to serve those people who are most deprived.
People can have the right to any opinion they want, but there are thousands and thousands of children who will be hungry during the next week. over this half term and at other school holiday closure periods. We have head teachers in membership of our union, head teachers who opened their school on Christmas Day last year because they knew that children in their area would not get a good meal. I think that a lot of people who are more comfortable in our society don't understand the depth of the poverty that we face. We're one of the most unequal countries in Western Europe. You see those effects really directly, and they are impacting on children's learning as well as on the rest of their lives. It's not right that we turn away from this. We put proposals to the Chancellor for the comprehensive spending review that looks like it's been abandoned now. We think they should extend free school meals to every school holiday, and we need to do a lot more for disadvantaged children. There are children who can't afford their school uniforms. There are still children who don't have broadband at home, and there are so many children being sent home because public health advice says there's been a COVID case. So there are so many children who are trying to learn from home, where we're trying to teach them at home, and they still don't have broadband connections. They still don't have tablets or laptops, and so they are falling further and further behind in the educational stakes. We need to do far more for disadvantaged children than the government is currently doing.
Kevin Courtney, Joint General Secretary of the National Education Union, thank you very much. And just looking at the comments, because the programme spoke to Marcus Rashford, and just picking up on the thoughts Kevin Courtney was making there, Marcus Rashford said himself in response to the MP's vote, he said a lot of them, meaning the MPs, are insensitive and they've not been through it. And it is one of the reasons why people listen so carefully to what he says, is because it's a lived experience, isn't it? It is a lived experience. But we will follow that very closely.
It's coming up to 20 minutes to 9.